everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm so excited to have you. And if you're old, thank you for sticking with me. So today we'll be having a very quick discussion. Discussion. Anyways, so we'll be having a very quick chat. So today I know you already know the topic from the thumbnail or the title of the video, but I have an exam to prepare for in 24 hours. What do I do? And actually, let me correct that. So, I do not literally have an exam to write in 24 hours. This video is sharing tips for studying in 24 hours or less. Okay, so this is something that happened to me a lot during my final semester in school. I'm a big advocate for studying in advance, you know, read weeks ahead of time. But in my final semester of school, for some reason, I was just always trying to catch up last minute. And I guess it was also because I was burnt out. But, anyways, this situation is not ideal. I strongly discourage you from making it a normal thing in your life. I strongly believe that things happen, right? Things happen, you could be busy and maybe for so many reasons, right? You could end up having to study for an exam in 24 hours, right? So if that's the case, this video is for you. Okay, let's get right into it. So first of all, I have an exam to study for in 24 hours or less. What do I do? First things first, read your slides thoroughly. So I have a rule: never I don't know if I should say it's a rule, but I have a personal rule actually, that I would never write an exam after reviewing the materials only once. Experience has taught me. And I know it so well, that if you write an exam after reading the materials just once, I promise you, you are bound to be confused. You could see a question, you know the answer to the question, but because you read the material only once, the information is, it's a bit cloudy, like it's so much information jumbled up in your brain, right? You could end up writing the wrong answer for the right thing, or this happens a lot as well. You could write the correct thing and then cancel it and write the wrong answer, or if it's a multiple choice, or select the wrong answer. So guys, never write an exam like this. Is another study hack, I'm telling you guys. Like this is like my top university study hack. Never write an exam after reviewing the materials just once. I know for some people it has worked, it might have worked, but like I've said before, I can assure you that they would have done better if they reviewed the materials just once. And I say that because you have the tendency to remember more. Every human being has the tendency to remember more. The more you see something, the more likely you are to remember it, right? So, guys, please, 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 never write an exam without reviewing the materials at least twice, okay? So, first things first, read the slides thoroughly. So if I have an exam in 24 hours, the first thing I will do is read the slides thoroughly. So slowly go through, not slowly because you have 24 hours, but with, like, try to understand, not too fast, not too slow. Not too fast. Let me not say not too slow, but try to read the slides to understand. So read to understand, read to, like, just take your time to read the slides the first time, right? As much time as you can take to read the slides thoroughly the first time. And then the second time, depending on how much time you have left, right? Just review the slides. So depending on how much time you have left, you can either breeze through the slides, or you can read a little bit faster than the first time, but also not too slow because you're doing a review. Ideally, I would say, if you can, if you don't have, because another thing is that it also depends on the number of slides as well, right? So if it's not a lot of slides, if you can review it up to 3 times, that's perfect, right? But I'm just going to go be reviewing it twice because I feel like that's the case most times. In less than 24 hours, there's only so much you can do in 24 hours, right? So personally, what I would do is I would read through the slides thoroughly and then review it the second time. So sometimes, like, I took this one course last semester that had so many slides, and like each PowerPoint had like up to 100 slides. So sometimes I end up reading thoroughly in the night. Like I finish reading the slide, like the first step of reading at night, and I have to go to bed, right? So sometimes what I do is I start my second review. So like going reviewing the slides very quickly. I start it the night before, and then I wake up early in the morning, finish it up before I write my exam. Sometimes even on the bus I'm reading that is exactly why I said that this situation is not ideal. Try to avoid it at all costs. But then again, things happen, right? Things happen. So that is what I would do, right? I'll try I'll try to do the second review of at least half of the PowerPoint slides before the day of the exam. And it also depends on what time you have the exam the next day. If you have a lot of time the next day, let's say the exam is in the evening, maybe you would even be able to do like one or two more reviews after the second one, so you could end up going over the slides up to three or four times. That would be so beautiful. But this is basically it. So read through the slides thoroughly the first time and then review it a little bit faster, but a little I don't want to like put um I don't want to give a specific like speed for the second time because it really depends on how much time you have left. So depending on how much time you have left, you review the slides, right? And then the last thing I would say is this. So while studying, while reviewing the slides, there's something I've noticed with university courses. A lot of them are in a continuum. So you could be reading a particular topic and then you see something you've read in the previous topic you were reading. So if you see that, try to ask yourself, oh, do I remember this? If you don't remember it, I strongly encourage you to go back to that previous topic and find out the answer to that thing. Because, first of all, the chances that something that was repeated in multiple topics will be tested on the exam is very high. Professors particularly like those kind of questions. So if you're studying and you find something from a previous topic that you know is going to be on the final exam, and then just try to ask yourself, oh, do I remember this? If you don't remember, please go back to review, and you find out that when you go back to review it, you don't end up only reading that particular thing that took you there. You also glance through a few other things, and it's also a kind of revision, right? So that's another hack. And then the final thing would be, so as you study, questions will pop up in your head. And honestly, I feel like I've been wanting to ask someone this, but you can let me know in the comment section if this happens to you, right? So do you like, does it happen to you that when you study, it's like questions about what you're studying just keep popping up in your mind? I want to believe it happens to everybody, and that's why I'm including it as a tip, right? So I don't believe you have to consciously start writing out questions. I know we used to do that in primary and secondary school a lot, but you don't have to start writing out all the questions or this question. I believe as you study, sometimes it could be a question about a previous topic, a topic a topic you're going to review next, but as you study, questions will come up in your mind. So when those questions come up, try to answer them, right? Because the same way those questions are coming up in your mind, that's the same way the professor thinks of those questions. So the chance that a question that popped up in your mind will be on the exam is very high, right? So if a question pops in your mind, even if it's This happens to me. I could be eating, right? During exam period, I could be eating, I could be on the bus on my way home. I could literally be at work and I would think of an exam question, like a question from one of my courses. And I'll be like, oh my goodness, I don't know the answer to this, right? Or I've forgotten the answer to this. And immediately I have access to my notes. The first thing I do is go check the answer to that question. And it really helps because it's also a type of revision, right? So, guys, keep these three things I've said in mind, right? Read through the slide thoroughly the first time, do a second review and a third review if possible as well, and then um questions that pop up in your head or pop up in your mind, please try to go back to answer them. You are not wasting time. Honestly, you might think that, oh, going back to look at those questions, I might be wasting time, but you are not. You are actually, like, it's also a form of revision, because I promise you that when you go back there to look at that slide, you actually end up looking at other things around that slide, right? Your eyes will end up glancing through other things. So it's also a form of revision, right? So, guys, keep these three tips in mind, okay? And the final one was, oh my goodness, I think I've forgotten. The final one was, oh, focus on your weak points. Oh my goodness, I forgot to mention that. Focus on your weak points. So, let's say you have to do a second review and you're running out of time, right? Focus on the topics that you know that you will most likely mix up. Maybe the topics that have more slides or have more information. Like, let's say if you're in a math class, maybe focus on the formulas. If you are not able to complete a second review, because people study at different paces, right? People study at different pace, different speed. So if you're not able to complete a second review, just do your best. Like, I found myself reviewing, going through my book up until 10 minutes before my exam, and it's honestly not ideal. And that's why I said that this should be like a once in a semester or once in a year situation. But then just try to go through that topic, forget about all the other topics. Don't try to go through them in order, or from one, two, three, four. If you know you don't have a lot of time, start from the topic you are mm, you are least comfortable with, right? Yeah. And then, yeah, so that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you for watching this video today. I'll be talking about something non-study related in my next video, so please watch out for that. Thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you in my next video. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Bye bye. Take care.